And 5:30 now this morning. It is a very, very cold morning. Looking live at DFW Airport, the wind chill is now -2. So the story is now going to be transitioning from that winter storm and mini precip types, ice, freezing rain, sleet, snow, now to how cold we're going to be. Dangerously cold, actually, in spots. And that's why that extreme cold warning was issued, which is rather rare. Okay. Live look from downtown here, looking towards Reunion Tower. You'll notice it looks brighter than it should this time of morning. All that snow out there and that low cloud cover. So it's just reflecting all of that extra light. Okay. So you've got low cloud cover and snow, and they're all bouncing off each other. So it looks kind of bright. Okay. Wind chill -4 downtown. Dallas Baptist University, look at this. Winds out of the northwest, almost 20 miles an hour. That's why we have a big wind chill out there. Wind chill -1 downtown right here at the studios. Looking to the north and east, Bank of America Plaza, there's the tower. And again, it looks calm, but we've had a few flurries even running through right now. Look at Fair Park looking northwest. There's downtown. You can't even see it. Temperature 16, wind chill of only 3 degrees. Here's the Woodall Rogers Freeway. If you watched the late news last night, all the folks who went to the Mavs game kind of got stuck here on the icing. So you got to take it carefully out there. That was quite a sight to see with this. Sometimes, and right here, what you can't, if you know this area, there's a little incline here. And on this side a decline when you're coming this way, and so you got to take it very carefully. Sometimes those inclines are tough. You have to have enough momentum to get around, but sometimes you'll lose traction then if you speed up. And looks like they're taking it carefully there. That's good news. You got to drive slowly if you're going to be out and about. It'd be preferable if you don't have to go anywhere today or tomorrow, because everything is going to refreeze as well. So right now, the timeline, we're talking about some new things today. A little bit of snow is wrapping around, so light snow now through 9 a.m. This is the most likely area. It's looking like our northern counties. I'll show you radar in just a second. And then this afternoon, a little wraparound snow is going to be possible. It was looking like this yesterday, like this would be a possibility in our northern counties. It is going to favor Denton and Collin counties here this afternoon. Shouldn't amount to much, light accumulations, but perhaps there's some moderate brief plumes in there of some snow that could amount to just a little bit. So we'll see where that ends up. And then tonight, look at this, a little lake effect snow is going to be possible with those north winds. So spots south of the lakes have the best shot of our major lakes. I've seen some lake effect snow tonight. Again, minor accumulations out of those. Here's radar, the live view. Let's zoom in here. Here's this wraparound snow now moving in, Mineral Wells, Decatur, up towards Bowie, Montague counties. The dry air pocket over us has kind of pushed things out here as the system has moved on, but that wraparound snow is trying to make its way in. Had a few brief snow bands here. This just moved right through McKinney down to Lucas and let's say Allen and Fairview up towards Wiley. Very quick hitting, maybe a few flurries, maybe some light snow at times, although it shows a little more moderate spots in there, but it's moving so quickly. But notice something happening right here, just south of Lake Louisville. See that? What's that? Moving north to south. Little lake effect snow. So this is occurring right here too. You see these little streams. That's little lake effect snow. This is it though. This is the last wraparound band for this morning, and then we'll see what develops after that out towards Graham and Archer City and Wichita Falls. But yes, there you go. There's that one little swath that kind of formed. But notice these spots. This is streaming north to south. Those are little lake effect bands. That'll be possible again tonight. Down to the south and east, this is the activity that has kind of moved away from us here. Freezing rain over to sleet and even thunder sleet here. Thunder ice, thunder sleet, if you will. It's freezing rain is the purple, but it could all be falling as different types. Radar does the best it can here. But I think you got freezing rain transitioning to sleet. You've got a lot of lightning. These are thunderstorms, okay? But the pellets are freezing. The raindrops are freezing on the way down. Different than hail that freezes on the way up, right? Under your updraft. The updraft keeps pushing it up until it reaches a sufficient weight and size and falls. That's hail. These are freezing. The drops are freezing on the way down because the atmosphere is so cold, but you're still getting lightning here. So Houston, look at this cell right there in Fort Bend County. Those are all moving to the north and east. So they're dealing with clashing environments here. That super cold Arctic air and that Gulf warmer humid air. So they're still getting activity down there. Thankfully, things have finished down towards Austin and San Antonio, where they had a lot more freezing rain, icing issues, Austin down to San Antonio last night. But again, for us, just watching this next band, let's look at high-res timecast here. This model's done a great job. Okay, it has this dry area. It has that plume of snow approaching us. So it's starting it at 5 a.m. I'm going to move this through slowly. by 5 to 6 to 7 a.m., it holds that together through some of our central counties. So that's the first opportunity for some snow here through McKinney up towards Bonham and Paris, but that'll move through our central counties between now and 8. Then we clear out briefly, but look at this, okay, this afternoon, and the Weather Service was talking about this. As we go towards midday, okay, I think this develops to our west, moves through our central counties, maybe favoring north of I-20, so Collin and Denton up towards Cook, Fannin, Grayson, Lamar by 4 or 5 o'clock, and then that will move out. So it's kind of a tail end rotating plume that's going to come around this system that's possible this evening. Winter storm warnings will probably be allowed to expire this morning. Ice storm warnings, which are far more rare down to our south and east, those will extend into Louisiana as that ice storm continues. Thank goodness we don't have those right directly over the Metroplex. And, you know, again, yesterday we missed out on the bulk of the freezing rain, and thank goodness, because we have weather alerts going through Tuesday mainly for this right here, okay? Wind chills 5 to 10 below zero. The good news with less power outages, even though it's not great to drive on and we had all that sleet out there, at least many folks still have power during this brutal cold coming in, okay? So we've seen the mix kind of go away. We're going to have some snow left over today. Icy road's going to be in play for the next few days. Why? Refreezing. The driving's going to kick up some activity on the roads. It's going to refreeze. Could have a lot of trouble on the roads the next couple of mornings. So make sure you stay tuned to everything. Download the app and have it here. We're going to first look at the 14-day, then we'll go back to radar, okay? Updated now for you. 17 degrees will be what we reach today, only to 28 tomorrow. The sun will be out, and some spots may break freezing. And yes, the sun will do a little work on what's out there, melt some things, but then things will refreeze overnight into Tuesday morning. I think the sun, even just the sun appearing, is going to help some things a little bit. But I think even if anything melts just a touch, that extra liquid's going to freeze again. Tuesday morning, brutally cold again, 14, but up to 42. We finally should break above freezing around midday Tuesday, maybe 11 a.m. or so, and then we'll start to see really things will start to melt in a better speed there as we go through the day Tuesday. Then Wednesday, 42, not a big improvement. It is going to be a colder week and a couple of weak fronts here Thursday into Friday. There was a brief snow chance there. It's looking like the models are trending that out. Good news if you want to break from this. And then it's going to be a super cold weekend as we head into the first weekend of February. Hard to believe I'm saying that. And then back up into the 50s where we should be. Mid-50s, a 60 there on Thursday the following week. So that's closer to where we should be this time of year coming up the following week. But here's your extreme cold warning, okay? Through 9 a.m. Tuesday, we have 3 cold mornings ahead starting this morning. So the next couple of hours, we'll see these really low wind chills. Brutal cold wind chills, and temperatures right now, again, not helping much. 12 degrees in Denton, 14 in McKinney, 14 in downtown Dallas, 13 in Fort Worth, 11 in Mineral Wells, 12 in Granbury. But take a look right here. Yikes. Okay, feels like -4 in McKinney. Feels like -4 in Dallas. You walk out the door in Fort Worth, -3. Bowie, -10. So very cold morning out there this morning. And we're already exceeding the forecast. Look at tomorrow morning. Okay, I think more widespread colder temps, but this is pretty much where we are now. So cold morning this morning, cold morning tomorrow morning, a cold morning, but a few degrees better on Tuesday, and then finally we're out of it. All in all, just air temperature wise, we're going to close in on all 3 records. 12 degrees, record 12. 9 degrees, previous record 12, 12 degrees, previous record 12 for Tuesday. And look at when these were all set. They're all basically the same. 12-degree records all across the board. But 1940, 1904, 1963, we're talking totally different eras here. It's like World War II, turn of the century, the Cold War. So it's been a long time, and we'll probably be close to all of them. We'll probably break 1 or 2. Let's look at long-range timecast here while I have you this morning. Again, we clear out, and finally we see some sun breaking through, okay? And then we'll warm up as we go into next week. Little Gulf moisture down there remains down towards the Gulf Coast on Friday, and then we'll get bouts of cloud cover in here, but nothing major, which is good news, because previously the models were showing another little winter, let's say, dance late in the week, and that's why we had that 10% snow chance. But I really think that's starting to go away. I think that chance is kind of diminishing. The trends have been away from that. We're going to be drier. Certainly good news there. 17, 28, 42, 42. We won't get above freezing again until around midday Tuesday. And even though the sun will be out Monday and do a little work on whatever's out there on the surface, it's still going to be cold. We're going to refreeze. So spots are still going to be dicey the next 2 mornings. Wouldn't be surprised if we have some closures on Tuesday morning. And then Wednesday kind of back to normal. increasing temps, still below average, and more cloud cover to round out the week. Finally, next week, much better conditions. Back up to average this time of year is 57. We're going to be close. And then up to 60 the following Thursday. Heck, that'll feel like an entirely different season. You'll forget about this whole winter storm we just had, and temperatures back up to 61 then that following Saturday. But don't be surprised today if you find a few flurries and maybe even some light snow out there this morning and then this afternoon, and perhaps even some lake effect snow if you live directly south of the lakes, like Lake Louisville. Late this evening could certainly see some lake effect snow. All right, we'll see you at 6 o'clock.